So hello and welcome back to Exploring Azeroth with this week Blossom, who is our Pandaren who is helping us to explore the Wandering Isle. Now, last week we did almost all of the Wandering Isle, but then I realized that the video was getting kinda long, so I figured we would just finish it up this week with the last couple sections of the Wandering Isle and a little bit about the Isle itself. And the Isle is actually a dragon turtle whose name is Shenzinsu. Shenzinsu is potentially the largest creature in all of Azeroth. Centuries ago, he hatched at Turtle Beach in the Kasserang Wilds. Presumably, he had a normal everyday life, he became a fairly big creature, but 800 years before the Dark Portal, it met and was befriended by Lu Lang. Lu Lang was the wanderer who, like a lot of Pandaren back then, he had a lot of wanderlust, and they lived in harmony with their land, but wanderlust gripped some of the Pandaren, and Lu Lang wanted to have a way to leave Pandaria and still be able to come back through the mists that hid Pandaria. And he realized that sea turtles always returned to the beach where they were born. So if he just befriended a sea turtle, he would always have a way back home. So he met Shenzinsu. But when he first met him, Shenzinsu didn't actually have a name. Lu Lang was buying his travel supplies from Shenzin, the owner of Shenzin Sundries in Half Hill. And Shenzin offered Lu Lang his iconic bamboo umbrella. And in gratitude for getting that umbrella, Lu Lang said, "I'm going to name my sea turtle after you." And Lu Lang and Shenzinsu actually had many, many wonderful adventures. And on Lu Lang's final voyage, he died. Lu Lang did. And his spirit actually merged with Shenzinsu. After Lu Lang's death, Shenzinsu stopped coming back to Pandaria, even though he could if he wanted to. He actually avoids Pandaria completely. And while only Shenzinsu really knows the reason why he never went back to Pandaria, it's probably because he doesn't want to be reminded of his dear friend Lu Lang. Even though the descendants of Lu Lang's followers still live on Shenzinsu's shell to this day. Shenzinsu has continued to grow since Lu Lang's time, and he now is large enough to support all of the Pandaren starting area, and by extension, all of the Monk Order Hall, which one of these days I will get to and explore. A few other notable facts about Shenzinsu. According to the Pet Journal, the emerald turtles are the same species as Shenzinsu, although they have feet, while Shenzinsu has flippers. So I don't really think that they are the same thing. Arguably, as I said before, Shenzinsu is the largest animal in Azeroth and possibly the largest animal known to exist so far. He was also voiced by Jim Cummings, who you might know better as his Disney characters. He is also most likely a reference to the mythological concept of the world turtle, the giant turtle that supports the entire world on its shell. So there we go, a few facts about Shenzinsu. After you talk to Shenzinsu and find out that he's in great distress because of a thorn in his side, and you find out that the thorn is actually an Alliance boat. Yeah, that's one heck of a thorn. But after that, you head back to the monastery at the center of the island and are sent on to Peiwu Forest. Peiwu Forest is a forbidden forest located south of Mandori Village on the Wandering Isle. The gates are closed, but you are finally given permission to open the gates, which causes a little bit of trouble until Jojo Ironbrow bashes the gates open for you. It is home to tigers everywhere, and Way Pale Rage. Way Pale Rage is a Pandaran hermit who lives in the Forlorn Hut, and he is aiding the survivors of the crash of the Skyseeker. But not all of the survivors. He seems to be specifically just aiding the Horde survivors who have escaped from being the captives of the Alliance. And he lives at the Forlorn Hut. It is a little hut built in the Peiwu Forest, and many of the Horde survivors from the crash of the Skyseeker ended up here. There are lots of injured crewmen, and you and the uninjured are quickly gathering up bamboo so that you can actually have some weapons. Horde druids are also seen here trying to heal the wounded. So something interesting that I just found out about is that when you are sent on from the Forlorn Hut to help out the goblin Mikhail Bay, who is the engineer who has an idea for how to get the Skyseeker out of Shenzhen Su's side, I never really connected it, but evidently Mikhail Bay is a reference to the director Michael Bay, who is known for making action movies that have lots of explosions. And that actually makes a lot of sense, considering his grand plan is to gather up a lot of dynamite and blow the ship out of Shenzhen Su's side. Also in the Peiwu Forest is a little area that you might not have seen even if you quested through here on Pandarans, because there's no actual reason to go there, but I saw it and I thought it was cool. And that is the Pool of the Paw. The Pool of the Paw is a small pool that is shaped like a tiger's paw. It's located in Peiwu Forest. There's no real reason to come here, except for the fact that I like to check out everything. And as its name indicates, by calling it the Pool of the Paw, there are a lot of tigers who happen to have paws that are living there. The biggest area, and the area where everybody's going to end up, is the wreck of the Skyseeker. The wreck of the Skyseeker is where the Alliance gunship the Skyseeker crashed into the Wandering Isle after having captured Horde prisoners. The commander is Delora Lionheart, and she is the captain of the survivors of the Alliance crew, and she is setting up a triage camp near the wreckage because there are lots of wounded. After you help the Alliance rescue some of their soldiers, get some supplies, and do a little bit of healing, you are sent on to Asa, who is actually trying to fight a Sorok who is on the island, and it's honestly one of the tougher fights, especially if you're playing a monk like I am and you have no clue exactly how to play a monk. I died a lot of times, but I finally did manage, with Asa's help, to take him down. After that, Asa and G agree, Asa very reluctantly, that blowing the Skyfire out of Shenzhen Su's side is the only possibility. So G sets the explosives, he hits the big button, and the Skyfire goes flying. Unfortunately, that makes blood begin to really pump out of Shenzhen Su. G points out that you can actually heal him, and that is your next task. So you go and you help all of the healers, the priests, the druids, the Horde, and the Alliance as everyone works together to patch the wound in Shenzhen Zhu's side. It actually works, and you can tell that it works by all of the beautiful trees that grow as the wound heals. After that, you are sent on a cart back to Midori Village, where you need to head up to the temple, and you are faced with the big choice of a Pandaren. And that is, would you like to be in the Horde, or would you like to be in the Alliance? This is an actual big choice, and you only can make it the one time, so choose wisely. After that, you are sent off to your capital city, where you begin your questing, but you can never return to the Wandering Isle, unless of course you are in the monk class. But other than that, this is a completely Pandaren exclusive area, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much. I had so much fun exploring all of Pandaria with you. Next time, we are going to be heading off through the Dark Portal and exploring alternate Draenor. So I really do appreciate you watching. Please do leave me a thumbs up if you don't mind, and I will see you next time.